All right, if you're gearing up for your HSC exams, you know that every single mark counts. So today, we're going to focus on locking in some of the easiest, most predictable marks on the entire paper. We're talking about mastering a topic that, for some reason, trips up so many students: water movement in plants. Let's just dive right in. Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why this is such a high-value question. Then, we'll make the concept super simple. After that, I'll show you the perfect way to answer, what common mistakes to avoid, and finally, we'll lock it all in so you don't forget. Okay, let's get strategic. This isn't just about learning biology, This is about finding a guaranteed way to bump up your final score. Seriously, think of this topic as your secret weapon for exam day. I'm not kidding. Check this out. Every single year, this exact concept shows up, and it's always worth a solid 2 to 3 marks. These aren't just possible marks. They are practically guaranteed marks, but only if you follow the simple steps we're about to go through. So that leads to the big question, right? If this is so predictable, why on earth do so many students fumble and lose what should be easy marks? Well, it usually boils down to a few tiny misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that we're going to clear up for you right now. Okay, so how does this whole thing actually work? Let's break down the 2 main ways water moves through plants: the apoplast and the symplast pathways. And don't you worry, we're skipping the heavy jargon. This is all about simple, clear explanations. First up, we've got the apoplast pathway. Now, the absolute key thing to remember here is that this is the non-living route. Just picture it. Water is flowing through the spaces between the cell walls. It's not going inside the cells at all. The analogy of a highway going around a city is perfect. It's fast, it's external, and it bypasses all the downtown traffic. And then you've got the symplast pathway. This one is the total opposite. It's the living route. Here, water actually goes inside the cell, moves through the cytoplasm, and then passes directly into the next cell through these tiny little channels. The best way to think about it is like walking through connected rooms in a house. You're actually inside, moving through the living space. So, this really lays out the differences, doesn't it? Apoplast is non-living and fast, like a highway. Symplast is living and slower, like going from room to room. But now, pay attention to the barriers. See that spiky red line? That's the Casparian strip. It's like a roadblock on the apoplast highway. It eventually forces all that water to get off the highway and go through the symplast route, kind of like forcing everyone through a security checkpoint. Okay, pause. This is a super important slide. Seriously? Go ahead and grab a screenshot of this for your revision notes. You've got the simple definitions right there, and more importantly, that exam tip. I promise you, examiners are actively looking for the keyword plasmodesmata when you talk about the symplast pathway. Using that word is like a secret handshake that shows them you really know your stuff. All right, so you've got the concepts down pat. Awesome. But now for the important part. Let's turn that knowledge into actual marks on your paper. This next section is all about how to write the perfect answer. So, imagine you open your exam paper and you see this. A classic HSC question. Differentiate between the apoplast and symplast pathways of water movement in plants. 3 marks are just sitting there waiting for you. How do you make sure you grab every single one? It's easy. You just follow this simple 3-step formula. Step 1, define both terms. A single, clear sentence for each is all you need. Step 2, and this is the big one, use a comparison table. Please don't write a giant paragraph. A table is cleaner and easier to mark. And step 3, a quick, simple labeled diagram showing both pathways is an amazing way to lock in that 3rd and final mark. And here's a little pro tip that goes for any exam, really. Presentation matters. A neat answer with a clean table and a tidy diagram, it just makes it so easy for the examiner to give you full marks. You don't want to make them dig around for your points, trust me. Okay, so now you know exactly what to do, but just as important is knowing what not to do. Let's talk about the common traps, the little mistakes that make students lose those easy marks we were just talking about. All right, really listen up for this part. Knowing the right information is only half the battle. Actively avoiding these common mistakes is how you make sure you get every single point you deserve. So here are the top 4 errors we see all the time. Number 1, mixing up the definitions. Just remember, apoplast is the non-living highway. Number 2, completely forgetting to mention the Casparian strip. That's a huge part of the process.
Number 3, writing those long, rambling paragraphs. For a differentiate question, a table is your best friend. And finally, number 4, messy, unlabeled diagrams. They honestly do more harm than good.
Whew, we've covered a fair bit, haven't we? So let's lock it all in with a final, quick summary. This is everything you need to remember to walk into that exam hall feeling totally confident about this question. Okay, here's your 3-point checklist. Ready? First, the key idea. Water moves in 2 ways, the non-living apoplast and the living symplast. Second, your shortcut. For any differentiate question, always use a table. It's just faster and clearer. And third, the big mistake to avoid. Never, ever forget to mention plasmodesmata when you're talking about the symplast path.
And honestly, that's pretty much it. By really nailing simple, predictable concepts just like this one, you are putting yourself on the fast track to a fantastic score. So keep up the great work, keep practicing, stay consistent, and you are going to be amazed at what you can pull off on exam day. You've got this.